Hello viewers, hope you are doing well. Today I would like to discuss with you a very interesting topics, how we can implement checkbox with our tree region. Here you can see the demo. I have already implemented these things. In this feature we can select multiple tree node at a time and process the selected tree region as per our business logics. So to implement these things, let's start the practical session. First we need to create a blank page. Here I go to create the blank page, then create a region, set it types as tree region, and the source type should be SQL query, and I have already write the SQL query earlier and paste it here. And the mandatory field of that source query should be status, level, title and value, and other fields are optional. And then set its attribute, the title column, level column, the value column, hierarchy should not computed, and the level column and status column should be defined to render the tree region. Here the tree region rendered. Now we have to focus our main task. Default folder CSS class should be square, and item type CSS class should be far, and I have added extra class test class. Later we will target it. Now create a dynamic action to change the capture the node value of the tree primary key. To store it, we need to create a text item, hidden item, and link should be defined as URL. Then create another item to store the multiple employee ID in this item. Then we need to create a dynamic action to select the employee ID. Type should be jQuery selector, and here is the class name which we will define earlier on that CSS class. And here is the JavaScript code. First we need to define a variable to store the class of that tree node where we clicked. Then the captured class name will be split into a array. Here we define the array by splitting the value. Every space define a array element. Here we check the last element of that class. If hyphen check hyphen square, then we remove that class and add another class by looking the checkbox as like checkbox. This code is responsible to display that field as like checkbox. When click the checkbox checked and then if click again, then it should be look like unchecked. Here you can see that when click the checkbox checked, and next time it will be unchecked. Then create another dynamic action to capture that value of the checked tree node. Define the item, which item should be changed, and the true action should be execute JavaScript code. First, we need to define a global variable. It should be an array where I have declared the array. Then go to the dynamic action. Open the code editor and declare a variable named impid where store the value of selected tree node. If the selected tree node value already exists on that array, then we remove it. Otherwise, add the value into the array. Here, splice means remove the value from which value we need to identify the index of the selected ID. That's the index of that EMP ID, and how many item will be removed from that index point. That's it's one. It said now I am going to setting the array value to display on that selected item field. Now let's check. Yeah, multiple values selected on that field. When I uncheck, the selected value will remove. Now I am going to process the selected data. For this purpose, first we need to check the collection is exist or not. If exist, then delete when the page load. This is my business logic. If you have different business logic, then you can implement as it your own. Then create a region to display the selected IDs data perfectly. This is interactive report types region, and the source type should be SQL query, and here I define the SQL query. This data comes from the collections. How this data comes from that collection, later we will see it. First we define the report and define a static ID. Here is define the collection and its value, sorry, its data. Create a Alex callback function to create a collection and store data into it, or delete data from it. Here we Here I am going to create a collection. If first check if it not exist, then create it, otherwise no need to do anything. And then I am going to check the value which tree node is selected. If this tree node's value is already added into the collection, then it will be delete first. It will be delete, otherwise it will be added to the collection. In this loop, I have queried the sequence ID of that selected tree node. If it exists, then it returns, otherwise the loop is skipped. If exists, then elk underscore count greater than 0, otherwise it will be 0 always. If 0, then add it into the collection. Here I'm going to process that data. First, query the data from the employees table and add it into the collection in this loop. Here I am going to add member on that collection. That's it to process the data into the collection. Here I am defined every columns below. That's it to define collection and its data. Then later we will call it into the dynamic action to process the data. To copy the Ajax callback function name and here modify the existing dynamic action. Call that Ajax function here. Then pass the variables value. And the success function should be refresh the display data region. Here I refresh the region, display data region, where the selected data will be displayed. I copy the static ID of that region. First, I have missed that things. We need to set it. Choose the region and set it static ID. That's it. If found helpful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can see that the data already checkbox working. If found helpful, please like, comments, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.